Hello.
Quickly, start the game. We have less than 30 minutes before my friends kill me.
I already hit that, but I'm fucking attend the Switch.
So I was writing the tweet. We have in trending hashtag SV leaks for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And then we also have hashtag NSFW art. And I'm not going to say anything about the leaks, but I am going to say they might be related. Which isn't really surprising. It's kind of a nothing statement, but
Yeah.
when does that game come out?
Next week.
In next week, you'll see what I mean, I think. I'm loving the leak season. Oh man, the Pokemon are looking so good that it's almost convincing me to get the game. And Gavin, and in the voice in my head, the Gavin voice in my head says, "Do not do it. Do not remember the crystal forms that look."
Inside your head also says, "Do not do it."
Remember the crystal forms that look ugly as shit. Remember like the lack of polish or whatever. But then I'm like, yeah, but like that Pokemon's pretty cool. I want that on a team. And then like Sonic Frontiers is out and people are saying it's good and I'm like, you know,
so fucking good.
You know, I don't play video games, but well, let's just say last night I before bed, I purchased the game on PlayStation 4 and then I was like, you know that state where you're like just about to go to sleep?
Yes.
And then sometimes you just think of something and I thought, wait a second. This is Sonic Frontiers. What's the FPS? And this is Sonic Frontiers and the PS4. What is the FPS and like rating, you know, the resolution on that? PS4 maxes out at 30 FPS, 1080. I remember trackers saying a shame that Sonic Frontiers can only reach 60 FPS on PC, and I'm like, well,
and next gen.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's more than 30. So, how much do I like physical games? I'm like, I think Sonic Frontiers might, as far as like the visuals department stuff, it might need all the help it can get. If I'm gonna play that game, I'm gonna buy it on Steam, and then we'll see about physical after that. That's what I decided. So I fucking woke myself up to cancel the order. I don't know. Yeah, it's possible.
I tell you that was the smart idea because I'm fully, having played the game like 7 hours now, I am fully 100% convinced. Everyone says this thing is jank is playing at 30 FPS.
Well, no, that's not what what they're saying.
That's what let me finish though.
It's a mess.
At 60 FPS. It's not a mess at all.
It's a mess.
At 60 FPS, this is far and away the best controlling Sonic game of the entire series. Far and away, it's not even close. Like, I fucking love you, Unleashed. You do not control as smoothly as this does. Like, it is a fucking dream to play. Like, I keep hearing people like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm like, I guess it's just a fucking skill issue or you're playing on 30 FPS. I'm having literally no problem doing things. I'm slamming S ranks like it's fucking nothing.
All I know about the game is what I've seen, and then also,
I also want to point out what you've seen was either pre-release, the Switch version is different, or
Switch version
grossly is incompetent, because it is wildly, like, a lot of things you said you saw did not apply. Like you said, like, oh, my friend only found 2 2D levels, and that's all they found in the first area. There's only 2 2D levels in the first area, there's 5 3D levels.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
That's pretty fucking good.
What was I saying?
4 or 5 islands, we have like 7 levels roughly per set.
Oh yeah, the only other thing I know is Dark Spine Sonic, classic old Sonic speedrunner, finder of the Knuckles infinite height glitch among many other glitches. Like in Sonic Heroes, the big one where you can just fly across the stage by spamming his belly flop sideways. That DSS, who will never stream ever again. found a glitch day one in Sonic Frontiers where you can get a shit ton of height. And I think it's just very funny.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will say that means the game is broken and doesn't work. They're wrong.
See, he's Gavin is so defensive.
So defensive, he says, as he trips over himself trying to find ways to say that it's glitchy and bad.
What? I think it's funny. I love DSS. You aren't fucking. Ooh.
I mean, there's that, and there's also the stuff that you said, like, oh, I saw my friend do this, and I'm nervous about the level of trying. I get into the game, the first 2 levels forces you to play are 3D levels.
Look, I'm not interested in the fucking levels anyway. If I'm playing 2D Sonic, I want it to be a fucking 2D Sonic game, and I don't want to play 3D Sonic. We've been over this. I want to play a fucking open world game. So that's the main thing I'm concerned about with Frontiers is, like, how many of these fucking cyberspace levels do I have to play? I don't want to have to fucking get all those stupid ass red rings too. I just want to mindlessly play through it and get back to the game I want to play.
Don't get any red rings at all.
How many enemies do I have to fight? Breath of the Wild kind of spoiled me in that regard. I didn't fight anything and it was hilarious.
It's hilarious, yeah. Sunlight's excruciating.
Okay, that guy has to die.
Based on what you said, you probably shouldn't get it, because it sounds like you wouldn't enjoy it.
I don't know. The people are saying it's good. I don't know how much the cyberspace shit takes up from it. I don't know if it's even that bad.
Not bad, I'd say that's like the fucking main draw.
I wouldn't say that. I want to run around this open world and, like, do sick tricks off of ramps and shit.
I mean, you can, yeah.
I wanna I wanna do an insane height glitch and reach the highest tower in the entire game immediately. Also, some people have beaten it already, and I'm like, I know it's an an open world game, but like, geez, come on, people.
Like, you can skip like a lot of shit. Like, you don't need much to progress, to be honest.
Do you have to save Knuckles? Can he be imprisoned forever?
Yeah, you have to see the advanced plot and get
Boo. Yeah. I love the little, like, they have a little, thing in the top right at all times telling you what you should do. And when I was watching my friend, like, half the time it was like, talk to Amy. It's like just such a funny objective.
Scenes, yeah.
Such a funny objective. It's like you talk to her and then it says talk to Amy, but now she's suddenly somewhere else. And I'm like, that kind of tripped me up a bit.
I don't know, I feel like I can't understate the ways in which this is like I would say even like better than Unleashed. It has yet to like shit the bed at least. Like, it plays like fucking basically perfectly. The levels are great. Running around the open world is great. A lot of the open world boss fights are just fucking great. Like, most of the people who say, like, oh, this is like jank or whatever, I literally just can't fathom what they're talking about. Like, I've had no control issues, I've had no problems. Like, I just don't fucking get it. Like, it only seems that classic thing of, like, people just either somehow can't fathom how to play these games, or like they just fucking have it out for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it looked like shit.
I mean, I wouldn't say it looks like shit, it looks quite nice.
But yeah, but you thought Legends Arceus was nice looking, so...
Yeah, and you think literally every game looks ugly, so, you know, somewhere in between this, there's an answer. Like, yeah, it seems fucking great. It's just fucking good.
We have quota. What the fuck? What the fuck? What happened?
Like, Slaughter is not a great weapon set.
It really is. I mean, the short nozzle does, and the Gal are pretty good DPS, but the other two are awful.
It's like it's strong per shot, but the gal doesn't shoot fast enough sometimes. And you need it to.
So how far are you?
In the second island, I have 3 knuckles. I have like 2 chaos emeralds ready to pick up, and I've done 2 levels and found like a third. I, by the game's reckoning, 100% of the first island, and that was like, what, 6 hours to do that?
I'm assuming you're so slow because you're 100%ing the islands as you get to them, right?
I mean, I don't even think I'm not even like trying to actively like get everything off the map. I just, I did all the like little story icons, I do all the levels, I S rank them. I fight all the bosses I see, and all that basically counts for 100%.
What was that? Sorry. what the fuck was that? The taxi thing. They're coming from apples now, and there's a Greg.
Like it's pretty loose in what it defines as 100%, which I respect. You can get through stuff pretty fast if you want to. It takes to like after the more ideal model for open world stuff. I find like in Maneater, for instance, a game that doesn't take up like 60 hours doing like the same thing. That you can essentially take your fill, do like a minimal of each activity, see all the core story events and chaos emeralds, fight the boss, and move on. You can, I think, like conceptually, at most, you might need to get at least like 3 out of 4 goals on 3 levels to advance, and even then, like the vault keys you need for chaos emeralds can just be found in the world sometimes.
They killed my wave breaker.
I thought I picked up an egg, but there's no light. Reminds me, I need to put in the code and get my SA2 shoes on.
Yeah, the problem is I thought I was going to play on the PS4 because I'm physical game pilled, so I'm going to have to buy it, presumably. How expensive is it?
How expensive is what?
The Sonic shoes, because you can buy them.
You don't pay anything at all.
You can buy them, which is what
Well,
I'm going to have to do because I asked for a PS4 key.
To the newsletter.
I know, I asked for a PS4 key.
They have a different email.
That's dishonest. Also, isn't it over now?
No, it goes all the way to January. Like, you can sign up, like, all the way to, like, January for it, from what I remember seeing.
There's no price. Ah, I'm going to have to actually do that. That's annoying. Please use our newsletter.
Just get your code and unsubscribe. Also, because Sega are a pleasing publisher, I have managed to do what I've been increasingly doing, which is buying the PS4 versions of games and then just downloading the PS5 versions of this game. So I can have my cake and eat it too, on the off chance Sony's definitely not NFTs thing becomes actual NFT thing, and I want to throw this thing out the window. PS4 Pro back.
You can't do that. Final Fantasy 16 is going to come out.
On PC as well.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh my god! Wow, that makes the PS5 even funnier.
Yep. You know what the best part is? I mean, they announced that and said, like, okay, it's going to be PS5 exclusive for 6 months. Because that's what Sony's bought. In the same breath, that Forspoken game, the one where the girl talks to, like, her magical wristband and goes, well, like, wow, he's right behind me, isn't he, all the time.
Absolutely not.
It's fucking horrible. That's another Square Enix one. That one is so undesired that Sony has managed to buy exclusivity for that all the way to 2025, apparently. So either Forspoken is just cheaper to get, or Sony, for some reason, is betting on that more than Final Fantasy 16.
I'd say definitely not.
I mean, Sony has weird notions sometimes. They somehow think that Horizon Zero Dawn is the series everyone wants.
What about Kratos? Kratos came out.
David watched a bit of a stream about it today, and he says, look, A, it looks identical to the first game, and B, it just is loaded, at least on PS4, like absolutely loaded with like loading barriers. And in the first like 5 minutes, 3 times you have to stop and mash R2 very slowly on like 3 things to get it out of the way, because it's just desperately trying to load everything for some reason.
Isn't it a PS5 game?
It was originally going to be, and then Sony said, "Oh, actually, it's going to be PS4 as well because we don't want this thing to have any value."
I think the PS5 has no install. It's the same problem with VR, I think. You know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, how do you get more people to play VR? You make games exclusive to VR, but since nobody has VR, there's a high chance that it won't sell enough to be worth it. So
pretty much. VR has like the added stuff, you know, like the form factor and the new shit. The PS5 just needs to exist and it doesn't. Which makes Sony announcing like the PSVR 2 randomly one day with its release date and launch lineup and like no stream, no announcements or anything, just posted on the PS blog one day. Even funnier. They have like no hope for that thing, it seems like. I will say, like, in a lot of ways, you can, like, tell that really... I don't know if this is, like, specifically, like, because they had Flynn on, like, maybe he had, like, input on voice direction, or if they just suddenly got a voice director who cares. But, like, I will say it's a fucking trip hearing Mike Pollock talk like Eggman, but he's, like, serene.
yeah, like
I
heard him in the intro cutscene that like, you know, this looks like a dimension. It seems much more complicated than anything I could ever make, though, or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah.
It doesn't sound right, but like, it's not bad. It's just
no, it sounds great. Like, actually, this is kind of lovely. I like it that he's not just, you know, a constant ranting cartoon all the time. He has like a line to Sage where like he actually goes, you know, like, oh, commendable, like, oh, good working or anything. Like, you wouldn't hear this in like the fucking.
yeah, because he's paired with Orbot and Cubot. They can't do anything commendable. Same with Scratch and Grounder.
I don't know. It's just a bit of a trip because you can get like voice logs from him and everything, and all through like one of them he just opens up. Now I'm officially jealous of this like cyberspace place and all. And he references like levels from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I wonder which one.
Well, 2 of them. He references a level, Egg Space, and then he references the United Federation. Also, he mentions like gun units in here and everything, like I guess which are like the tanks and helicopters and levels and shit. For a trip to run into. It's like, fuck me, like they actually just remembered that there were games before, like Sonic, well, games between like, you know, Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic, I guess, generations.
We're hiring a Sonic lore master.
They are, and he's having his fun. But
well, no, did you? Was there X there? No. Did you see the opening? That's literally for a lore master.
I did, yeah. The jaw posting.
Yeah.
That was funny. I guess they're giving a shit, and you can tell right away because you see like glimpses of like the ancients, and it's immediately just like, oh, that's something I never considered could be a question.
I heard the writing was good, and that some people even got emotional in a Sonic game.
You can feel that way at times. Also, Sonic himself being reserved again is like a fucking trip coming out of Lost World so freshly.
Yeah.
Because like Sage comes up and goes like, "You are like an enemy combatant, or you are like short-tempered and short-sighted and an idiot and an asshole," and he just goes like, "Well, I'm trying to be civil here." Uh, just like just quips like that. And he was like, "Ah, you must be a fan." It's kind of like, oh, that like he quipped, but it wasn't like overly cartoony or anything. It was just like a quick one moment, and it pushes past it. 'Cause I guess he's like, oh, this is a kid. I can't get mad at a kid.
Yeah, it's like also like sometimes I don't know about you, but like sometimes I see some comic posts that are like, you know, Sonic like actually getting angry for the sake of
Yeah,
his friends and like being serious and down to earth, like a moment where the games would do a joke, he's like actually like, you know, drilling into the enemy and
yeah,
shit. It's like it's so cool. Like because yeah, that's like kind of I have to read the damn comics, but like that's kind of the Sonic that I want because Sonic has like definitely has the capacity to be that kind of character where it's just like better, you know?
there is like a really striking moment in the cutscene at the
Oh, I'm
ending where
stupid.
like, you know, Sonic is clearly getting like more and more unnerved by the fact that, you know, like she's still completely digital and like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And she's more occupied with like helping one of these little like Cocos who's like the beeping around. It wants help finding its like its lost lover or whatever.
Yeah, the Amy storyline where she's concerned about love, but
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean,
not it's not that annoying or like ham-fisted, you know?
it's like surprisingly pretty good because like he like at one point Sonic was like, "Why are we doing this? Like we don't have time for this. Like what? Like you could be like he just basically suggesting you could be fucking dying. You might be stuck like this. Why are we doing this?" And Amy gets mad. She's like, "Oh, would you just leave them alone?" It's like he just said he was like, "You're my friend, Amy. Like I'm sorry, but like, you know, I don't know that thing, and I'm more worried about you. Like, it's okay, leave it be. Like, there's that little moment, and then she, you know, she gets through and goes like, no, it wouldn't be right to just leave it. And he goes like, you know, you're right. And yeah, catches himself. I'm kind of like, holy shit, Sonic has like a fucking character again.
It still should have been Chow though.
Feels like they should have been, or they should have been like a certain other thing, like, or at least more overtly a certain other thing.
I mean, if they are related, oh, you're talking about wisps, of course, I agree,
Yeah, sure.
100%. Like if like Knuckles stuff is related, then the Chow would even actually make sense.
Yeah. What are the Chow factory is kind of interesting. It's the sort of thing where like it's like the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers thing, where lots of like little relevant bits of lore and stray story threads from like all the past expansions now super matter and are pretty fucking cool for mattering. It's kind of like that, whereas incidental details are sort of suddenly like, wait, why was this in like Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, etc.
I heard some people say that it's a game for people who play Sonic and not really too much
Yes,
for people who don't. And I'm like, that
pretty
sounds
much,
about right.
yeah.
But fortunately, I like Sonic lore and stuff, so that's perfect for me.
You will be well said in that regard, yeah. Also, like the scene where like Sonic
Thanks,
and
bro.
like freeze Knuckles and like sees them, like they meet each other. Fucking great. The two of them are just doing like, these fucking shit-eating grins at each other the entire time. Just fucking like leaning in, just waiting for one or the other to like fuck up. It's like that's how you do it. Lost World.
Well, that's not really fair to Lost World because Knuckles wasn't in that one.
It was this red and Knuckles like blob started in this place. Leave this monster like fuck off. I need these snacks.
Probably should have lured them down, but I don't trust our teammates to know what luring is.
Yeah. I mean, there's that and I'm stuck on it.
I had an egg. Oh well, whatever. I'm intrigued because a lot of skeptics were also like, "This is good. I'm really enjoying this." Tracker, the guy who was highlighting all the like benign shit people say, who was kind of skeptical but hopeful, really likes it. So I'm like, hey, works for me. I used both of my inkjets incidentally.
How big of bombs is just wham, basically. I was gonna say that I'll get right now, but then it whipped away. If they mutually changed me, I'm still mad. They were just went for someone else and just stormed over my corpse.
It worked. All we had to do was survive, so.
Okay.
And that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
One plus needs the three of them.
Be calm. If you're the only player left, just bide your time until you have the opportunity to actually revive people. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me.
Also, just to add the Titan fight.
I knew it. I knew it.
It's so fucking good.
I'm gonna do gotcha and then end the
So I think,
stream.
like, I would be yelling all throughout this if it wasn't for the fact that I knew that, like, people were sleeping across the house. I would also have the, following on from, like, I said, like, there's, like, extra shit for playing on hard, like, at the end of the game. I'm playing on hard, and it's not very hard.
Yeah, I heard one person say, don't play on hard. It's whatever for 99%, but then there's 1% that is excruciating. But I'm assuming you could just change it back to easy during that part and then change it back to hard after.
Yeah.
I don't actually know, but
Unless they mean, like, the hard exclusive content, I guess, but...
Wait, here's weird. Anyway, that's all the time we got. I got to pivot in less than a minute, so... Bye.
Sleep.